10 simple habits that rewire your brain for happiness. 1. Exercise regularly. Physical activity affects the brain as well as the body. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain and influences chemicals involved in mood, motivation, and stress regulation. Regular exercise is also associated with increased levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, a protein involved in the growth and maintenance of brain cells. Research has consistently linked regular physical activity with lower symptoms of depression and anxiety and better overall well-being. The important factor is consistency. Regular moderate activity can be more useful than occasional intense exercise. 2. Spend time in nature. Spending time in natural environments can affect attention, stress, and emotional processing. A 2015 Stanford University study published in PNAS examined people who walked through either a natural environment or an urban environment. Participants who walked in nature showed reduced repetitive negative thinking, known as rumination. Nature also provides a lower level of constant sensory stimulation than modern digital environments. This gives attention fewer competing demands and may help the brain recover from prolonged mental effort. 3. Get enough sleep is essential for emotional regulation, memory, learning, and normal brain function. During sleep, the brain processes information from the day and helps regulate emotional responses. Sleep deprivation can increase activity in brain regions involved in emotional reactions while reducing effective communication with areas involved in emotional control. This is one reason ordinary problems can feel more intense after a night of poor sleep. Consistently getting adequate sleep therefore supports a more stable emotional state. 4. Practice gratitude involves deliberately paying attention to things that are positive or valuable. Psychologists Robert Emmons and Michael McCullough conducted influential research on gratitude in the early 2000s. Their studies found that regularly recording things people were grateful for was associated with improvements in reported well-being. Gratitude does not mean ignoring negative experiences. Instead, it changes the balance of attention. The brain naturally gives strong attention to problems and potential threats. Deliberately noticing positive experiences can counterbalance this tendency. A simple gratitude practice can therefore train attention toward positive aspects of everyday life. 5. Maintain strong social connections. Human brains are highly social. Meaningful relationships influence emotional regulation, stress responses, and overall well-being. A major 2010 meta-analysis by Julian Holt-Lundstad and colleagues examined 148 studies involving more than 300,000 participants. Stronger social relationships were associated with better survival outcomes. Social connection also provides emotional support and reduces the psychological effects of isolation. The quality of relationships matters more than simply being surrounded by people. Trusted friendships, family relationships, and supportive communities can all contribute to psychological well-being. 6. Help other people. Helping others can improve psychological well-being. Researchers Elizabeth Dunn, Laura Aknin, and Michael Norton published research in 2008 showing that spending money on others could produce greater happiness than spending money on oneself. This is part of a broader category called prosocial behavior. Prosocial behavior includes helping, sharing, cooperating, volunteering, and supporting other people. These behaviors can increase feelings of social connection, purpose, and meaning. The benefit does not require large acts of generosity. Small helpful actions can also create positive emotional effects. 7. Reduce constant digital stimulation. Modern digital environments provide continuous stimulation through notifications, short videos, social media, games, and other forms of instant entertainment. Constant switching between stimuli can make sustained attention more difficult. Frequent digital stimulation can also encourage a pattern of seeking immediate rewards. Reducing unnecessary stimulation gives the brain opportunities to maintain attention on one activity without constantly searching for something new. Short periods without phones or entertainment can therefore help strengthen intentional attention and reduce habitual checking behavior. The goal is not eliminating technology. It is preventing technology from controlling attention automatically. 8. Learn difficult skills. Learning creates changes in the brain. This ability is called neuroplasticity, meaning the brain can modify its connections and activity patterns in response to experience and practice. When a person repeatedly practices a new skill, neural networks involved in that skill become more efficient. This has been demonstrated across areas such as language learning, musical training, motor skills, and memory. Learning also creates a sense of competence. Successfully improving at something difficult provides feedback that effort can produce measurable change. That experience can support motivation and long-term psychological well-being. 9. Savor positive experiences. Savoring means deliberately paying attention to positive experiences instead of immediately moving on to the next activity. Psychological research suggests that attention influences how strongly experiences are encoded and remembered. A positive experience that receives only a few seconds of attention may have less emotional impact than the same experience that is consciously appreciated. Savoring can involve noticing sensory details, reflecting on why something feels meaningful, or deliberately extending attention toward a positive moment. This can increase awareness of positive experiences without requiring major changes in circumstances. 10. Repeat healthy behaviors. The most important factor behind neuroplasticity is repetition. The brain continuously adapts to repeated experiences. Frequently used neural pathways can become more efficient, while patterns that are rarely activated can become less dominant. This principle applies to both positive and negative habits. Repeated stress can reinforce patterns of stress and worry. Repeated distraction can reinforce automatic attention switching. Repeated exercise, social connection, learning, relaxation, and positive attention can strengthen healthier behavioral patterns. This is why occasional motivation is less important than consistent repetition. The brain does not change because of one good day. It changes gradually through repeated experiences. The main principle of these habits do not literally rewire the brain overnight. The scientifically accurate concept is neuroplasticity. The brain changes its structure, connections, and activity patterns in response to repeated experience. Exercise supports brain and emotional health. Nature can reduce rumination. Sleep regulates emotional processing. Gratitude changes attention. Social connection supports well-being. Helping others increases meaning. Reduced stimulation protects attention. Learning strengthens neural pathways. Savoring increases awareness of positive experiences. And repetition allows these behaviors to become increasingly automatic. The brain adapts to what it repeatedly experiences. That is why small habits can matter. Not because one action creates instant happiness, but because repeated actions gradually influence the patterns your brain uses every day. Stay curious, like, subscribe, and keep exploring the human mind.